Hey everyone, welcome back, or if you're just joining us, I'm Spencer,
And I'm Katie.
and today in this video, we're gonna be going a little more in depth about the gut microbiome and food and diet.
All right, so we're going to start with high sugar intake. So, the high sugar intake unbalances the gut microbiome, and that leads to fewer gut immune cells that help protect against metabolic disorders.
And then we're gonna briefly mention fiber here, because we all know fiber is important. So, why is fiber important? Well, the healthy bacteria in our guts feed off fiber, so getting the recommended amount of fiber intake helps maintain a healthy gut microbiome. And fiber has also been shown to increase gut microbiome diversity.
Yeah. And what about probiotics? Most of us have probably heard of probiotics by now. It seems to be a new trend. But you definitely want to fix your diet before trying pro or prebiotics. This is what the researchers recommend, at least.
Have you tried probiotics?
No, I have probiotics, but I have not tried them yet.
Okay. I've wanted to try it, or I guess I have. Like I've bought in some before, but again, to me, it's just such a weird. Like I know they're the good bacteria, but still, it's still like you're eating bacteria or like
They're going to
swallowing
keep you
bacteria,
crawling.
you know? Yeah. It's just such a weird it's a weird concept. It's hard for like I think to me it just comes down to more of thinking about it than actually doing. Like I feel like if I didn't think about it and took them, I'd be fine, but it's the fact that I sit there and think about what I'm intaking that makes me feel sick, even though I know it shouldn't make me sick in theory, as long as you buy from like a trusted vendor or whatever. But it's still just a thought, I think, for me that makes it a little off. But I've heard that they can be really, and there's all like different kinds too, which is also really interesting. Like there's different kinds that can
Yeah,
be helpful for mood or helpful for whatever else is
for
out
weight
there.
loss or
Yeah, there's a bunch of different microbes that can affect those things. So it's interesting, and it's a field that I think they're still learning a lot about, obviously too. But then here I also just kind of wanted to go. So I have this is a article from Harvard. It's called Gut Feelings: How Food Affects Your Mood, and I just wanted to go over down here their suggestions for a healthier gut and improved mood. So, they recommend eating whole foods and avoiding packaged or processed foods, which are high in unwanted food additives and preservatives that disrupt the healthy bacteria in the gut. Instead of vegetable or fruit juice, consider increasing your intake of fresh fruits and vegetables. Frozen fruits without added sugars or additives are a good choice too. Eat enough fiber and include whole grains and legumes. How do you
legumes, I think.
Yeah, we'll go with that. In your diet, include probiotic rich foods such as plain yogurt without added sugars. To reduce sugar intake at breakfast, add cinnamon to plain yogurt with berries or to oatmeal or chai pudding. Adding fermented foods such as kefir, unsweetened, sauerkraut, or kimchi can be helpful to maintaining a healthy gut. Eat a balance of seafoods and lean poultry and less red meat each week, and add a range of colorful, fresh fruits and vegetables to your diet. And consider choosing certain organic produce, I guess. So, those are just some different ways that we could try to change our diet to lead to a healthier gut.
Yes. And the the additives in ultra processed foods affect our gut microbiome. The Western diet does not appear to be good for our gut microbiome, which leads to disease. Fast food culture and frozen meals, while sometimes they taste really good, and they're unfortunately something that some people are just unable to avoid, whether that's due to time or money or both. These things negatively impact our gut microbiome, leading to negative Health effects. One thing we need to work on in our society as a whole is to get rid of those as the norm, which is not easy and is a multifaceted problem, which includes the capitalist way of life. I mean, I'm not completely anti capitalist, but I'm just pro helping people and anti suffering of people in the name of profit. So I guess you can call that whatever you want. But I mean, I personally think, like we should just have food banks that are just full of healthy options, like produce and like fresh, meat or whatever, like fresh foods, not just like prepackaged mac and cheese at the food bank. I mean, it's great that there are food banks because people do need them, but we need food banks that have healthier foods in them for sure.
Yeah,
Because
I would agree with that.
it's really hard to find that kind of thing. And I think there are some food banks that do have produce and stuff like that, but like they're really hard to come by. And like,
And I think
and,
it
yeah,
probably comes down to what they get donated to, which is
yeah,
unfortunate. And I think it also another aspect of it comes down to the fact that produce in general doesn't last very long, like stay
yeah,
good very long. But we need to come up with a solution for that, you know? Like
yeah.
we can't just be like, well, this, we can't do it because produce doesn't last very well. Okay, then
I mean, we
let's
ship produce online like all the time.
yeah,
So,
let's
I mean, there's
genetically
like
modify
refrigerated
produce some
trucks and
more.
stuff like that. Yeah,
I mean, I know some people are against genetically modified crops, but there's nothing wrong with them. We can talk about those
right.
in an episode
Oh,
sometime, but
the
there's
only
nothing
thing
inherently wrong with genetically modified crops.
right, like genetically modified, like the insulin I take every day is genetically modified. So when I hear people say that GMOs are all bad, like I just have to roll my eyes every time.
Yeah, and honestly, some people may disagree with this, but I think organic food is a scam, and they're
It
just
is, all food is
calling it
organic.
organic to get more money out of you.
The organic just means carbon based. Like pretty much all food is carbon based. McDonald's is
Yeah,
carbon based. McDonald's is organic technically. Like it's just a label they put on food to make it more expensive.
and organic food, the production and farming techniques needed for organic food is so much worse for the environment too. Because with these genetically modified techniques, they've been able to produce more with less. But if we go back to the organic way of making food, then it takes more like industrialization. Like there's more farming plots. I think it's basically that needs to do more bad, like more stuff that is harmful to the environment. Is what
Right.
I
Needs
don't know
more
the exacts
water.
of it, but
Needs, yeah.
yeah, all in
Takes
the
up more
name of
space.
organic.
Right. Just
Oh,
so that we
organic.
don't genetically modify it because people are afraid of the future sometimes.
Yeah, and there's just like conspiracies about it too that like they're
Yeah.
doing this to hurt us or something. And I'm
Monsanto.
like, I feel like if they, if they were actually doing this to hurt us, then they would find a way to infiltrate the organic food too and make it just as bad. Like why I don't know why
See
people
the
think
food.
organic food is automatically safe from the government intervention.
Right.
Like if the government controls the GMO, why wouldn't it control organic too? Like
Right. They
you
would
think there's
control all
some
of it.
yeah, exactly. Like do they think there's some secret organic warriors, saviors who are
There's like a
protecting the
force
government?
field. There's a force
Yeah.
field. It's part of the organic trademark. There's a force field around the fields, and the government can't get in.
Oh, and I think their biggest thing is that they claim that all the organizations and institutions are pushing fake news that GMOs are healthy so that we eat them and die,
Right.
and
Which
that
the food
organic is
that's
here
going
to
to kill
save
you,
us.
it's
But
going to be the food that's high in sugar and fat. Like it's
regardless of if it's genetically modified, yes, it'll be the high
right.
in fat and sugar, yes.
Exactly.
It's just
So
very interesting whenever people
yeah.
bring up GMOs. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say I fell for it at one time too in my past. I'm not gonna claim that I've never I guess falling for it. Like I didn't fall for it to where I made it my whole life, but I definitely at one point thought it was better. But after looking into it, I realized that it's not any better. It's not necessarily worse. It's worse for the environment, but it's not worse for us, but it's not better for us either. Like these genetically
it's
modified foods
neutral.
are not worse for us than an organic product.
Right, it's neutral. It depends on the food itself, not whether or not it's
Yes.
genetically modified. But
Yes,
back to
exactly.
the microbiome here. We have a
That
if that's
I
okay.
wonder how the microbiomes feel about organic, and we'll have to ask them sometime.
Yeah,
Ask our little friends who help keep us alive.
well, do some telepathy.
Yeah. But obviously, as we've talked about, and there's a lot more too with diet, but what we briefly have discussed here, we can just see that food plays a very important role in the health of our gut microbiome, which also plays a role in the health of us too.
Yes.
So, we'll have kind of one more video just outlining briefly everything that we discussed today about the gut microbiome as a whole. So you can join us in that next video, or if you don't want to, that's okay. You can just leave a comment below letting us know what you want us to talk about in future episodes.
You can reach out to us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We also occasionally do Twitch live streams, so watch out for those.
And don't forget to like, follow, or subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our content. Otherwise, we hope to see you in the next video, but if not, we will see everyone next time.